goodness in there. There's still some herbies sticking in there, but this has been steeping all day, so everything's in there really good. And then we're gonna carry this over to go underneath here. So you just wanna be careful not to burn yourself with this water. You don't want to tip it over. You want to make sure it's securely on these rungs, so it doesn't tip over, because the worst case scenario would be that it would tip over and that it would like scald your feet or something like it's spilling over. You don't want any spills. So there it is, waiting. So right now this is very hot. It might be too hot to sit on. I'm going to test it and see. And when it's at a comfortable temperature, then that's when you sit down. Welcome to my Yoni steam session. We're having a girls' night tonight. Oh my gosh. Wow. This feels so good. All right, so I just put my pot, I put my pot under here and then I gave it a minute. One thing you want to be careful is you don't want to scald yourself with the steam. A lot of people have this concept that when you steam, it's going to be like this hot steam rushing at you, puffing at your insides, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to, it's a gentle steam, okay? So I've just wrapped a natural fiber blanket around me. A lot of people like something thinner and lighter, like a sheet. As long as it's natural fiber like cotton or wool. This one is cotton. It's my favorite blanket. And you want to make sure you're wearing natural fibers, so everything's breathable. And I have turned up my heat. I'm already sweating. I'm feeling so good. This is such a good end to my day. I homeschooled this morning. I cooked jerk chicken and dinner. And I read their story, got them ready for bed. We did reading practice. And I have started my hammam time. So Yoni steaming is something I do probably about once or twice a month. But my favorite time to do it is like after I finish my cycle. So I've been done with my cycle for like a day or two now. And we just had the lunar eclipse and the full moon. And I've been doing all this cleansing with solar foods, with citrus fruits and everything like that. And so this is kind of like the final finale for my cleansing and then for my hammam day. So the hammam is basically what many people know as like a Turkish bath, or what is something that's a very popular tradition that you'll find throughout Africa. It is the day, it usually involves a lot of soaking, steaming. I pull out all my lemons, all my clays, my rasu clay. I wash my hair. It's like a very thorough cleansing. I know in Islam we call it a ghusl, which is like basically you transitioning from your sacred time of the month, your moon, and back into being full-time in all your duties and responsibilities and in your intimacy. So yes, I'm getting all fresh and everything. I got my tea over here. So what I did, as you guys already saw, I prepared, what I like to do is I actually boiled some water in a stainless steel pot on the stove. Once it was boiling, I turned off the heat and set the pot to the side. I put my herbs in, my dry herbs, and I have them right here. I'll go through them in a minute. And then I put the top on the pot and I let them steep. And so these herbs that I'm sitting over right now have been steeping since the morning, because I like my brew to be very potent. And now that it's the end of the day, it's nighttime, I reheated the pot and then put it under the hole in the chair, as you saw me do earlier. And I actually give it probably about like, I'll say 8 to 10 minutes, because it's pretty hot. And I think one mistake that a lot of women make is that they heat it up and then they sit right on it and then they scald themselves. So you want to be very careful that you don't burn yourself in the steaming process, that you don't knock over the ceramic. I poured it from my stainless steel pot into a ceramic pot and then slid it under here. And you want to be careful not to tip over that pot while you're sitting here, like how I'm sitting now. You don't want to kick your legs around and then accidentally tip that pot over. And you also don't want to sit on it too soon when it's too hot and scald yourself. Oh, I'm sweating. It feels good, opening up all my pores. And so basically, I also set aside a bit of that brew that I've steeped all the herbs in. Some of it went into my pot. It's under my chair right now. But I also took some and poured it into my cup, because all the herbs that I'm using are organic and are edible. So I put it in here, so I'm drinking the brew and I'm steaming over it at the same time. And I put a little bit of honey in here too. It's good. It's good. So, and I got mine. I'm just chilling here. I got my date rolls. Wow, that's good. This is like dates, soaked cashews, soaked cacao, goji berries. I put some figs in here too. A little bit of peanut butter, cinnamon, maple syrup. This is good. Oh, y'all. Every time I sit here and I steam, I feel like I need to be eating too and drinking my tea. I told you I was letting y'all in on my session, so you're really getting the whole full deal here. So I can't do a session without eating, even if I'm on camera. You want to use this time to nourish yourself, to slow down. So, all right, so what herbs am I using? So, of course, one you're probably most familiar with is lavender. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm familiar with is marigolds, and I have those dried too. They're yellow flowers that are often planted near your tomatoes. These are all herbs that are pretty much that I grow in my backyard and that are really easy to grow on your own and harvest and dry out and just keep on hand. So marigolds are also known as calendula. I think some people say calendula, but I mean they're marigolds. So they're great. They're also a great edible tea, a mild soothing herb that is beneficial for scarring. It fights off yeast infection, and yeah. So that's a few things that are great for marigold. I also have yarrow, which is also which is actually known as like a weed. I don't know if you can see the yarrow. My favorite is Motherwort. So the Motherwort is darker. The yarrow is a very light tan. This is like a dark brown. It almost looks like dirt, like earth. Motherwort is amazing. I even give it to my children. They call it the triple bypass in a bottle. This herb is great for your heart. It rebuilds, actually builds the cells in your heart, and it's just so good for circulation. It's great for calming you down. It's very relaxing. It's great for calming children down. And it has a very, it almost reminds me when I brew this by itself. I always blend it with something else when I'm brewing it to drink. But by itself, it almost has kind of like a pickly flavor to me. But then when I usually blend it in with like hibiscus or something else when I'm drinking it, because that could be kind of off-putting. I don't mind it, but for other people, when I'm making a big picture for the family, I want to include other herbs with it. So that's Motherwort. It's amazing. Definitely look up Motherwort and just research it, because it's just an amazing herb for everybody. And of course, like just my little disclaimers that I'm just sharing my session with you and what I do. You can go to my website and order all of these herbs. And order your Yoni Steam blend and order your Yoni Steam stools or chairs at passageinstitute.com. But I don't, what do you say? I don't. It's not to cure anything. The disclaimer doesn't treat or cure. It's not approved by the FDA and all that great stuff. So this is rosemary, which we are all familiar with. If you've ever had chicken noodle soup, any type of Italian dish, pizza, you know the taste and smell of rosemary. Amazing. Oh, guys, I smell everything. So we got some rosemary in there. That's great for the uterus and for the vagina as well. And last but not least is Partridge Berry, which is one of my favorites. And there's a lot more. I vary my blends. Like, I do custom blends. If I do a consultation with you, you let me know like what it is you're working on or what issues you may be having that you're trying to balance out. And then I'll blend these herbs. Some of them I may include, some of them I may not, because you might not need them for what you're going through. It's Partridge Berry. Partridge Berry has like a dark green tint. And that's what I don't know if you guys got a good look at it before I took it away, but that's what it looks like. Yeah. Good. So, I may not include all these herbs for a custom blend. There's certain, I'll blend them different ways, and there's a lot of other ones. Like sometimes I include hibiscus, sometimes I include rose petals. There's a lot of other herbs that I work with too, depending on what we're trying to work on, whether it's like scarring or detoxing or a lot of yeast infections, or you know, if you just had a baby and you're getting over a C-section or something like that. So yeah, there's all kinds of different ways you can blend these, and there are other herbs you can use other than these. These are not the only ones you're limited to. This is just what I have that I'm using for myself tonight, and this is what's usually included in a general blend. Excuse me. So I don't know, what other questions might you have. So yeah, I sit here on my blend. I mean, my blend is still warm. It's feeling great. It's feeling great. So I sit here like 30 minutes to an hour. I will have one of my favorite books here. I read. I listen to my soothing music. Sometimes I might have a singing bowl sitting here, and I'll play that and let that really center me. It's a good time just to like reflect and take a breather. Like I said, I've had a full day. I came across steaming and smoking, which right now I'm steaming over like hot water with herbs in it. But you can also, sometimes I'll light like a charcoal disc and put some dry herbs and then just smoke and let that scent my clothes and really scent my body, so I could be smelling like a snack. So, if you're not the kind of person who wants to wear a lot of perfume or body oil, that's another way to scent yourself without the use of that. So sometimes I'll do a dry smoking, but right now, like I said, I'm doing the steam over the hot water. So, yeah, I got introduced to it through women who were just in the community. When it come together, and sometimes it was just kind of like something going on in the background. Like you would see a coil lit and the women would stand over it and stand there for a minute and then move on to have their tea or get their henna done or whatever else was being offered, massages, whatever. And they're just, talking and socializing and hanging out for the day, taking a break from, their regular work. So, yeah, so I was really just casually introduced to it. It was just something that women did in their homes as part of their self-care regimen. So yeah, that's why we sell the chairs, the steam chairs and the steam stools and herbal blend on the website. It's something you can take into your home and just have part of your everyday self-care regimen. Not every day, not every day, but because of course you don't steam when you're on your menses. But it's just to be a regular part of your self-care. And I would say like, once a month or, every couple of months, take that time out and really, focus on you, focus on your yoni, on your vajayjay. Because that is your creative center. That is when your yoni, when your vagina is okay, the rest is okay. Usually, any type of health issue that you have is going to manifest in your uterus and your vagina in some way, far before it manifests anywhere else in your body. It's just that a lot of times we don't pay attention to the signals and the red flags, and we wait till it's way out of whack and out of sync. So just take time to nurture that part of yourself because it supports so much of you and your emotions, and you hold a lot there, and you want to make sure that you're detoxing that and that you're not holding that in a way that could be harmful for your body and manifest in a harmful way through disease and things like that. So Yoni steaming is great for, so many things. You can go to the website, passageinstitute.com. I'm just happy to be sharing this, and you can definitely go to Passage Institute for your Yoni steam needs. And you can also book a private session, a Yoni steaming session with me as well. And and we also do Yoni steam in circles. So if you have a group and you want to do a group steam, yes, we do that too. And those are fabulous and so much fun. So I'm going to get off here, y'all. I'm about to drink the rest of my tea, eat some more of these date rolls, and just zone out. So I'm sorry, I am just so relaxed. I'm done. After this, I'm going to bed. It's done, guys. Good night. I love you, and steam on.